Good morning. First off, I want to thank God for the ability for all of us to be here. And I also want to thank God for allowing President Trump to manage to move at the exact time to avoid being assassinated by somebody with absolute hatred in their heart. First off, we really can't afford to have this kind of activity take place toward any political figure. The things that a weaponized FBI, DOJ, CIA, etc. have already done against Donald Trump is quite pathetic. It's the same kind of things that you only see in other communistic countries like Russia or China. I'm very sad to say these things. I also want you to think about this. The trajectory of the bullets fired and the number of shots that were fired. We need to make absolute sure that they check all of this out. Why, you ask? Because it's funny that guy was on the closest building with a straight line of sight toward the stage where Donald Trump was speaking. Wouldn't that be the very place that you would want to make absolute sure you had protected? Think about that. Isn't it kind of strange how that guy just happened to not have any identification on him when they first started reporting it? I wonder if he also happened to be wearing the same kind of gear as the other people in the Secret Service that were sharpshooters, the ones that took him out. Those things all need to be answered. Much as I hate to bring it up, I feel like this is yet another setup that has been done as a hit job against a political opponent. I think if they were to track everything down and check the trajectories, they'll find that this guy probably wasn't the one that actually took the shot that caught Donald Trump's ear. He got took out by the Secret Service, but I'm going to just about bet you that he was simply the newest member of that team, or somebody who off the books was allowed to get up there with the thought of, I'm here to protect the president, and somebody on one of those other towers was probably the actual shooter. That way they had a chance to take several shots, and then they took this guy out to be the scapegoat for it. A whole lot like the Kennedy assassination. I don't know this. I only speculate this, or maybe it's more like I fear this. I also fear that since they weren't successful, they will probably try to do the same thing toward Biden and Harris, since they're not an overly popular duo. And then they'll try to blame it on somebody who is a Trump supporter, or somebody that's of the Republican Party, or something crazy like that. It fits the scenario as all of these bogus court cases. Whatever department they happen to have to investigate this, there needs to be an alternate department investigating that investigation department. Too many things have been swept under the rug. Hunter's laptop, for instance, last election season. You know, the one that had all of the hard evidence that Hunter Biden was taking money in the pay-for-play deal, selling off Joe's power and influence. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes here. The news media has been pretty much bought and paid for over the course of time. I don't know that I would truly want to believe anything that comes from any one outlet. Okay. We need to look into this. Every angle of every shot that was fired, and who shot them, what rifle each shot came out of. Also DNA check the shot to make sure it is the round that actually hit Trump's ear when it's pulled out of whatever. We need to know these things because there's so many things being set up to make different than what they actually are. We need to know the real truth. As I said before, this kind of violence and hatred is something that's absolutely intolerable from anybody, any group, period. This same group had allowed Black Lives Matters, Antifa, and many other communistic organizations and Marxists to murder, to destroy, to burn, to vandalize businesses that many people had. They were allowed to do these things. Yet the people that went up there to peacefully protest January 6th, they made them out to be insurrectionists. Trump said, go peacefully and patriotically on January 6th. There were barricades that were moved. There were a lot of people from Antifa and other organizations dressed up as Trump supporters, doing all kinds of hateful activities and violence. Yet while the people who actually went inside the Capitol, they murdered Ashley Babbitt. She didn't do anything. She was unarmed. Shot dead as she walked inside the Capitol. No, they shouldn't have been there. But barricades were moved and the doors were actually opened. They were actually led on what looked like a field trip through all of the Capitol peacefully, past White House security, Capitol security, and police. It's a setup. So you're going to have to watch each and everything that happens. Have to figure out why it's happening as well. Trump said, they're not after me, they're after you. I'm just in the way. Nothing is more true than that when he was on that stage. They're after the American people, all of our tax dollars to be squandered and reappropriated through shell companies and given to foreign countries and come back money laundered to enriching the politicians. And those are the very things that they're attempting to do, and the very things also Donald Trump stands in the way with. We need Donald Trump to help clean this mess up. My prayers are for Donald Trump and the United States of America and each and every citizen. Even if you don't see the big picture, maybe one day you'll wake up. I'll pray for you as well. Anyway, America, God bless you. Thank you, Lord, for saving Donald Trump. And thank you for saving America for each and every day that you choose to. Everybody have a wonderful Sunday.